start on travel day. Not good.
Yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock. We're just leaving home.
Hey everyone, welcome. We're glad you're here. It's been a while since we've taken you along on a trip, but we're finally headed out today.
Hope we get there before dark. I hate setting up in the dark.
That is the worst. Especially if you have to try to find a campsite.
Yeah.
We did reserve one.
Yep.
We are staying in a campground.
Well, it has been a long time since we've camped, so we can't rough it too hard.
Right. We're a little bit out of practice. Hopefully we packed everything that we need. We didn't forget anything. Although we're pretty good at making do.
I don't know. Where's that new coffee press at?
On this trip, we'll be visiting and camping in both a state park and a national park.
At least it's not too busy. The road's not too busy.
We couldn't travel too far on this trip because we knew the closing on the house we just sold was going to be scheduled sometime this week. There were no complications and closing happened as planned, so now we have scheduled our retirement date for a year from now in October of 2026. It's a pretty scary decision because, of course, we can't see the future. We don't know what might happen or what might change, but we've done our best to plan for it. Tim's dad was fond of saying, "Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, everything will work out." And that's definitely what we're hoping.
This is a pretty drive.
Yes.
The tiny house that we spent a year renovating and just moved into a few months ago is actually nestled between this state park and national park. Part of our property backs up to national park land. If you missed that reno project and are curious about it, you can find a tiny house playlist on our channel page.
How do you turn here? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How confusing.
Yep.
Haven't been this way in a while. Got to turn across traffic on an exit ramp. Clear?
Clear?
Yep.
Still?
Yep.
This is the exit ramp off of US Highway 12 East onto Indiana 49 North, which dead ends into Indiana Dunes State Park and Lake Michigan.
Well, we're here, babe. Oh, that was an arduous journey.
I know.
Before we check into the state park, we thought it might be a good idea to give an overview of the differences between Indiana Dunes State Park and Indiana Dunes National Park. It's come to our attention that many people don't realize there are two separate parks here and what the differences are. So in the rest of this video, we'll give you an overview of the two parks and a little bit of the history. Indiana Dunes State Park is one of only two state parks in the U.S. that are completely surrounded by a national park. The other one is California's Redwood State Park. When people think of Northwest Indiana today, the first things that come to mind might be steel mills, industry, or maybe the Port of Indiana. There is a lot of industry here, but it coexists with residential and natural protected areas. The neighborhood that we live in is across Highway 12 from one of the biggest steel mills in the area, but from our yard, you wouldn't necessarily know that. While all of these interests exist side by side, they haven't always and still don't always coexist peacefully. In the first couple decades of the 1900s, there was very little industry here, and the dunes were visited by Chicagoans looking to escape the city. The South Shore Line expanded west into this area, and the dunes became a popular spot for vacationing and enjoying nature. In 1916, when the National Park Service was formed, the Indiana Dunes areas was of interest, and a proposal was made to establish Sand Dunes National Park. But then World War I happened, and that was put on the back burner. In 1923, the state of Indiana took the initiative to pass legislation that would lead to the establishment of Indiana Dunes State Park in 1925. So the state park predates the national park by almost 100 years. In 1930, a pavilion is built at the state park, and a few years later, a hotel is added. While all of this is happening, though, industry is beginning to work its way into the area. Many of the sand dunes are removed outside of the park by steel mills that are being established. In 1959, the St. Lawrence Seaway is completed, which connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes, and there is a lot of economic pressure to establish the Port of Indiana. In 1965, a compromise known as the Kennedy Compromise is reached between industry and preservationists. The Port of Indiana is established, but the surrounding area is set aside and designated or authorized to become a national lakeshore. So in 1966, the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore is officially established. Over the next 30 years, more and more land would be added to National Lakeshore protected status. By 1992, the National Lakeshore is over 15,000 acres, and in 2019, it's redesignated as a national park. In case you're wondering what the difference is between a national lakeshore and a national park, lakeshores obviously protect waterfront areas, but their focus is often on recreation, where national parks' focus is on preservation. So let's look at a map. The national park stretches from Gary all the way to Michigan City, so it can be difficult to see everything on one map. All of the dark green areas are the national park, and there are a couple additional parcels further south that you can't even see on this map. And then if we zoom in, the light green area is the state park. There are a lot of similarities in the activities offered at both parks, but they are separate units that function independently with different rules and different fees. A good place to start your visit to either the state or the national park and to understand the differences is at the Visitor Center. The Visitor Center is straight south of the state park on Indiana 49. Center open until 4:30. At the time of recording, the visitor center was under construction, but it was still open to the public, and there are some pretty cool things outside as well. As soon as you walk in the door, there is a sign asking whether you want to go to the national park or state park. On this sign, it gives information about the fees for both parks. So that's probably the most important thing to realize. Dune State Park has an entrance gate, and you have to pay a fee to enter the state park or purchase an annual pass.
I mean, we could buy an annual pass. It doesn't matter. Oh, camp.
Hello. We have reservations for camping.
The National Parks Pass will not get you into Dune State Park. And the Dune State Park Pass does not give you access to the national park. The national park is much more dispersed. There aren't any entrance gates anywhere except at the national park campground. But you are supposed to display your receipt or your national park pass. Both the state park and the national park have really nice campgrounds. The campground at the state park offers hookups. The campground at the national park does not. All of the beaches are pretty heavily used during peak season, as are the trails in the state park and some of the more popular national park areas like West Beach. But there are many trails in the national park that we never see people on. Getting back to the visitor center, you can rent bikes here in season and ride into the state park. There are also many bike trails in the national park and in the surrounding communities. I think we'll end this video with a stroll around the Indiana Dunes Indigenous Cultural Trail here at the Visitor Center. We'll be back soon with videos about the state park, camping opportunities in the area, several of the national park attractions, and even a few hikes in the area. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, so that's the etchings that are on the turtle shell behind us. So this turtle shell, the etchings,
This is the Potawatomi.
and then the other one was Miami. Okay. Oh, this is the one that has sweet gum, has the prickly balls.